Welcome to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast, the place to get advice, tips, and tricks to building the life and luxury home of your dreams with 30-year business owner, designer, and builder, Julie Laughton. It all starts with a good plan. This is Julie Laughton Living.
Hey guys, it's Julie. Welcome back to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about making the best of your home space. Well, as you all know, the home situation has been completely changed since COVID. You know, everybody's home working. Half the world is home working. We're all internationally connected through Zoom. You know, we're home. So at the start of COVID, everybody realized, oh my gosh, I'm kind of stuck here. What am I going to do? So the remodeling and the changes made to homes during COVID has been huge. I mean, think about it. You got two people home working or one person and kids home. You got the whole family home. So now I think every person has, gone through what we go through when we remodel and analyzed every square inch of their home and how can I use it better? Because I need an office. I need a place to work out. I mean, during COVID, you literally had to do everything at home, watch movies, entertainment. So every square inch of the home has been reevaluated. And then that includes the backyard and the front yard. Every square inch of your private space has been overhauled, redesigned and maximized. So that's kind of the good news. People probably spent a lot of time purging, cleansing, and reevaluating. So that's the kind of the fun part, the positive part about what happened. Well, I don't want to be political or, give my opinion too much, but I work in the field and I have to see eye to eye to get things done. So I physically have to be present to work. Now, depending on your industry, you might work better at home because it's quiet, do research and do documentation. It's much better at home, right? But the interaction at the workspace with other humans and other people is crucial to your vital signs. I think it's important to get out there and get some fresh air and interact with people. The positiveness that comes with interacting with other people on a daily basis is huge. So I do believe that going back to work in an environment, a healthy environment, is important. But I don't know if it's ever going to go back that way. And there are certain parts of the job that are done just as easily at home, but that teamwork and that, uplifting environment that you get from being at work, even if you're an analyst and you see the other people, that competitive edge that you have working next to people, and just the fact they're being observed and watched. There's a whole thing psychological that goes into being at the office or being in a work pool. So I think it's healthier because you get ideas and you work better when you're flushing it out every day. So I believe it would be great if everybody was out and about working because it's, it's healthier. It's you get more done. It's funny because everybody's now got an office crammed somewhere in a dark corner of their house because they don't want to put it in the living room where the family is. And, but I've seen offices in basements and in closets and, different spots where you just sit, and it's kind of sad because you don't have a window. But I also know that people just set up their office at their kitchen table or their patio table or their beautiful outdoor area, and they just sit out there by the pool. So it's glorious. If you're working alone from home, there's many options, but every single person, well, not every single person, because I, like some people, we never stopped working during COVID. So nothing changed, but I've seen the office spaces put into the house. But, technology is, some people can work from their phone and some people can work from an iPad and then a laptop, and it's wireless, it's remote. You can sit in the backyard. Again, you can go anywhere. So the office space in general is just you and your laptop, and then you can move your monitor with you. I mean, my project managers actually go to the job and bring their monitors because it's impossible to work on a small screen. So yes, but I've seen this space carved out in more than 50% of my projects. It's funny because the open floor plan has been around, a good 10 years or more. So the open floor plan is like loft living. I remember living in New York City, it was God, is it 30 years ago already? Anyway, I always thought it was cool to walk into a loft and the whole thing was right there, including the bed, the kitchen. Only thing behind doors was the bathroom. And then sometimes the bed was separated, but sometimes it wasn't. But the point is, open living in residential market, as far as custom home builders, tract home builders, that concept started happening, a good 10, 15 years ago. But it's really now the only way to design, the only way to live, because think about it. You got your kitchen and your family room. That's where you're spending all your time when you're entertaining friends and hanging out with your family. So that whole space has to be open. And if you take that whole space and combine it with the backyard, the patio, and the pool, then you got this huge, great room, family room, entertainment space open. So the only thing really closed off is the bedrooms or your office or maybe your gym or something that's in it, but that's still open maybe to glass doors. But the open concept is here forever to stay. Well, the outdoor living also means kitchens. Where are you cooking? Where are you entertaining? So you have your kitchen that's open to the outdoors. But then the nice part about California and all other states, you just can't use it if it's not covered or enclosed. But the outdoor kitchen with the living room and the big screen TV and the fans and the can lights on your patio cover is just another whole living room, another whole extension of your house. So I love outdoor kitchens because you can go out there and do pizzas and rotisserie chicken. So you can do other cooking that you can't do indoors. And of course, smoking, barbecuing. So I love to do outdoor kitchens. And I think it's a valuable asset to the home, no matter where you live. So the best way to accomplish all this, what I'm always talking about is, maximizing your home. How do I maximize my home? So what happens is in the design process is you might have an architect that lays things out or an interior designer, but the person you're really talking to and need is the space planner. So architects are good at laying out spaces, of course, but designers are also good at it too. I happen to specialize in space planning because of my custom background, and then I certified in custom kitchens and all that. So my thing is to analyze every square inch and space plan the house so it flows and have multiple uses for every room. So you can have your kitchen where you're doing like 5 different things and 3 kinds of cooking, because some people cook, some people bake, some people entertain constantly. And, you have a buffet center and then, or they're practically a show off chef, you're entertaining with your cooking style. And, it's a whole thing about multi-layering every task in every room and really making sure that flows, because space planning is where it starts, period, with the plans for me. How does this room work for my client? How does it work for entertaining? How does it work for, function? So it's design, style, function. It has to look good, but it has to feel good, but it has to function like a sports car. It has to handle just right, and you don't bump into anything. It's slick, it's sleek, slick, clean, and it's all about function. Design, style, and function is my other little motto. It has to work. So the design, style, and function always comes together the best when you have a remodel going on, where basically you got to tear the space apart usually and reinvent it, because even if you have a kitchen in a certain location, then you take walls down and then you add the islands. So, it's a huge endeavor to, rip the house completely apart and fix it. But the redoing it is like a night and day difference, like this little cottage I'm doing in Laguna, it was built in 1928. And to get it to modern day standards, we took 3 rooms and combined it into 1. And we still had a little barrier for the kitchen, so you can't see around the corner, but the dining room and the living room and the old front porch, which is now the more of the living room, so you can actually see the garden in the front. So now we have a view from the very tip of the front of the property to the ocean, all the way through the living room, the great room, the dining room, and the kitchen. So it's a total transformation of how the space feels, because we put 3 rooms into 1. So that's one of the nicest transformations we did this year. So in summary, if you really want to tackle, getting every square inch of your home used, the best way is to make a list. What do I need to do in this space? And then look at it with a designer or space planner, and then go through the options of how can I transform this to make it better? Because usually it involves knocking out walls or maybe adding some patio doors or moving some windows. But the cool part is that every single space can be transformed to how you want to function. It's just a matter of actually, like everything else, make it a little checklist. And the easiest thing to do is after you actually entertain, especially on the holidays, what didn't work? What do you want to work? Make a list of what didn't work and what you want to work and what does work. So you have this whole thing, and then the space planner and the designer can help you achieve your goals so much easier. But after you live in your house for a while, you know what works and doesn't work. So it's a wonderful process to actually update your home to fit your lifestyle. And that's what it's all about here with us, is getting your home to be custom for you. And that's going to do it for this week's episode. And don't forget to visit julielaughtonliving.com. And I'll see you again next week here on the Julie Laughton Living Podcast.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Julie Laughton Living. For more information or to connect with Julie one-on-one, visit julielaughtonliving.com. And don't forget, it all starts with a good plan.